Like a lot of you, I was kind of surprised to hear that JPP was in the Ravens building today, was in the castle visiting, and apparently tweeted out or put something on Instagram about it that there was good vibes. Good for him. He's 33 years old, guy, three-time Pro Bowler, had a lot of impact in the NFL. I think he's a Super Bowl champion one time with the Giants, obviously, and kind of resurrected his career a little bit with the Buccaneers. Had that one season of 12 and a half sacks. Production has kind of dipped, obviously, in 2021. Apparently, he's dealing with a shoulder injury and maybe another one. I thought it was an ankle or something, but maybe I'm misremembering. I did watch 3 games. I'm going to talk about 2 of them, and I'm going to show film from the Rams victory over Tampa Bay in, I think, the divisional round, 30-27 in the 2021 playoffs. I kind of wish I'd watched more games because I feel like it's unfair to JPP, to be honest with you, to evaluate someone when they were so clearly hurt. The Washington game, there was no explosiveness, even on first interaction or first impact. Someone who's played position like he has, been in a stance, primarily a left-handed stance because he generally plays on the right. Whether it's a 3-4 or 4-3, generally plays on the right. They're going to be explosive on their first movement, because it's what they practice. When you get older, the loss of athleticism generally is not on the first movement. As a boxer, it's not normally on the jab. It's a basketball player. It's not normally on the first step. It's normally on the second, the redirect. When someone's able to move their feet and get in front of you, how are you able to redirect? How are you able to cross over? As a defensive end, what is your, or outside linebacker in a 3-4, what is your counter when someone jumps you? And I've got film of him against Andrew Whitworth, and it doesn't look fantastic, to be honest with you. He had 2.5 sacks last year overall. Missed some time. I think he played in 11 games, something like that. QB hits and QB pressures were down. Is it possible that he's completely healthy now and he could come in and help? Yeah, I guess, because you have Bowser who's who knows when Bowser's going to be back completely. Ojabo's going to be out for part of the season. So from that standpoint, it actually might be a really smart signing, I guess. I'm willing to go there. Only if, he's completely healthy and only if the Ravens are confident in that. Apparently there were some medicals done, so it sounds serious. I would hope that it's only going to be for a really low salary. I know the lead into this has been kind of long. I'm going to show you about 15 plays here. I do have a little bit of notes here, so you'll hear me flipping back and forth. He does look a little more explosive on this first rush here than he did in the Washington game. Excuse me. He looks a little more explosive to me, and I noticed that immediately. Now he's still not winning, but he's at least driving Whitworth back, getting his hands up in the air, trying to knock the pass down. That's something he's really good at. He's 6'5". I like the angle that he plays at. And I think he looked way better in this playoff game. He was inactive, I think, the last 2 or 3 weeks of the regular season in 2021. Long arms. He is able to move people backwards sometimes. Unfortunately, there's a lot of plays like this one. And generally, he's going to be up here on the right side. I'm doing this impromptu. If you can't tell, this is not edited. Just doing the entire possession. There's just a lot of plays like this one where he's not really using any moves. And maybe because of the injury, it was a shoulder. I don't know which shoulder it was, apparently. Obviously, that would have an impact. There's just not many moves being shown. I mean, it's a bull rush again. Andrew Whitworth is a bear. I mean, Andrew Whitworth is not generally going to be fooled by these moves and not going to be overpowered. He's a monster with long arms, even at his age. Now, later on, you will see another defensive end, number 98, and then also Vita Vea go against Whitworth, and they both win on consecutive plays. So it's kind of telling that JPP does not win on any of these. And I'm not being critical of the guy. He's 33 years old. He's had a great career. I hope he's able to have a wonderful season this year. I hope it's with the Ravens if he's completely healthy. Now, this looks inconsequential. It's a completed pass to Cooper Kupp. And from the end zone, I'll let it run one time so you can see. He's looking at something, all right? Looks inconsequential. High-level awareness. Very intelligent, if you ask me. So, looks like he's done nothing to impact the play, right? Well, just hold on a second. He's in his rush, and he's peeking over Whitworth's shoulder to try to see the quarterback, see what's happening. Was the ball handed off or not? he recognizes now that the ball is not handed off. Watch what he does next with his helmet. Okay, he's got his helmet on the outside here, and the running back is going to go through the B gap. He's peeking at the running back right now. He's not looking for the football, guys. He's looking to see if they're setting up a throwback screen. I think he's incredibly aware. He's seen a lot, played a lot of reps. So could there be something that he offers there? Again, no impact on the play in this situation. But my point is, he's a veteran. He's smart. He's aware. He's seen a lot. He drops in pass coverage one time in this video. It's somewhat inconsequential. There's nothing done up. There's nothing that he does on the play. This is a run play at him. He gets rolled up from behind. A linebacker tries to fill and gets knocked. Actually, gets held horribly. Wasn't called. And JPP gets rolled up from behind. Shaq Barrett ends up throwing Akers backwards. I think it's this linebacker right here. Ends up getting held and rolls up on JPP from behind. Makes it look like he got pancaked. I mean, I guess technically he did get pancaked, but it's because he's getting rolled up on right here. You can see his ankles getting caught by the linebacker. And I'm going to show you the all-22. There was a clear and obvious hold. I am concerned, though, he's getting reached a lot. I mean, he's lined up here, head up, but at an angle such to play C-gap. So that's this gap here. And when I say reach, what I mean is the tight end, getting to his outside, and then the ball being able to go outside of him. Now, there's an obvious force player here in their defense, but I just did not think early on the Bucs defense had a great plan for this run game and the complementary plays off of it. Let me show you the all-22 so you can see the obvious hold that's not called. I think it's the center. Talking about this linebacker is David, I think, and the center's working this way. I mean, come on. And then it was actually the center who fell on JPP's ankle. I would like to see him be more impactful against the tight end there, to be honest with you. And on two examples in this game, one of which I think I show, his first punch, his first strike is a little better, but again, it's the second strike. It's the second react on contact that is not as good, what I'm seeing. Here he is at the right defensive end, trying to push the pile back. And again, when you get older, athletically, in my opinion, and no one has told me this, is just something that I think I've figured out, and you may be able to define it or describe it better than I have. The first punch, the first move, is something that I think is generally there. It's the second and sometimes the third reaction that you're just not as ready for because you're older, your reflexes are slower. You just don't have the same fast twitch, and in some cases, you don't have the same drive. Same play from the end zone angle. You can see he was stunting inside, and Whitworth has like he's dealing with Cat Williams, a child, just locking him up. And that guy's, 33 is a hell of a football player, if you ask me, and Whitworth just got him locked up. You can see Stafford's got a lot of time. Vita Vea was really the most disruptive guy in this game, and I only watched the first 5 possessions today. 2 sacks overall as a team. JPP and I think Ndamukong Suh split 1 sack. Losing again here versus versus Whitworth up top. So this film, obviously, you're going to say, well, Coach doesn't like him. I mean, Coach, I think it's possible that they could get more out of him, maybe. He generally plays on the right, so that's going to kind of define things. Owe is available, healthy, ready to go. Bowser and Ojabo, who's, of course, going to be coming back later, those guys are not ready to go, apparently, in the beginning. Maybe Bowser is. Now, you can see here now, they've taken him off the field. Of course, it was a little bit of a long possession. They got 98 on. They got, I think that's Tryon, a younger, smaller, lighter guy. And 98 beats Whitworth. Now, he's slamming the inside gap, but he does beat him across his face. I guess he moved. So we're talking about this guy right here, 98. And the run action is going to this side. And he's able to get inside that B gap because he has a strong safety and a nickel outside of him. You can see he's able to cross Whitworth's face and be disruptive on that play concept. Again, JPP not on the field, incomplete pass. Should have been intercepted. Fast forward, this is a field goal. JPP not on the field, so let's compare his rushes that we saw to 98 versus Whitworth. little bit more impact, but still not a win in terms of getting a pressure or obviously a sack. I know this video's gone on long. My apologies. I did not have the ability to sit and edit this tonight. Editing actually prolongs the process. Second possession, if you've stuck around this long. Not much possible necessarily on this play other than maybe overpowering the tight end initially. I think he's thinking run, to be honest with you. And when we get the end zone angle, you'll see he's in a 6 technique. He's head up. So he's not at that angle that if this tight end weren't here, he would probably be lined up at this angle. You know what I mean? He's in a flat stance, head up on the tight end. We call that a 6 technique. Head up on the guard would be a 2. Head up on the tackle would be a 4. And then head up on the tight end is a 6. Some people call it 7. Some people call it 6-eye, whatever. But in any case, I think he's thinking run here. And that's why there's no real push for him to try to rush the passer. He realizes the ball is going to get off before he can get there. Second one is going to be another rush, I think, against Whitworth. And he's just not able to free himself at all. Yeah, I think Whitworth's 40 years old at this point. Guy's still got it. Check the end zone angle out. Again, I guess I could have edited this, the end zone angles, but man, the editing of it takes a really long time, guys. And it's the moves that just aren't there. There doesn't seem to be these abrupt, explosive, unbelievable moves. And if it's his right shoulder that was injured, you can kind of see it here. The effect of a slap was, really bad, and he's had thousands of reps in his career that are better than that one against guys of Whitworth's caliber. So in no way am I demeaning JPP. Great player. Got a lot of respect for him. Here he is again. Pass drop seems comfortable. That's my note. Kind of inconsequential. The ball is out pretty quickly. Let's look at the ensuing play. Again versus a tight end. I've got written down a good impact, but no redirect, no second redirect. So good impact, and the ball goes right inside of him. We'll let you see it from this angle one more time, and then you'll see it from the end zone. Good impact on a tight end, punches the shit out of him. I guess there is a second shot there actually, but he's not able to redirect inside and get involved in that downhill run play. Clean C-gap run, for Akers. Play action boot concept coming up next. Again, JPP's on the right side, defense's right side. He's just holding off covering the running back. Somehow the ball got down this far, not sure where. All right, this is a beautiful run play by the Rams. They are masters at this stuff. There's a lot to talk about on this play. If you've stuck around long enough, hopefully I can give you a cool description of this play. Really tight alignment, and oftentimes with the Rams you get this motion, right? And that motion they can run underneath that motion, or they can run opposite. In this case, OBJ is coming back the other way, making it look like it could be a hide play. So they're trying to hold one of these inside linebackers. Beautiful football play, and I think JPP jumps inside for some reason. If I have the right play, he reaches himself basically. You can see that he's lined up in the C gap. He's outside of Whitworth. He's going to end up in the B gap through no one's contact. He does it on his own. Now sometimes you would do that because you have a linebacker behind you. Let's digress just for a moment and watch the unbelievable, complete football player that Cooper Kupp is. Watch what he does to 45, who is a great football player in and of himself. And that's a wide receiver decleating an NFL inside linebacker. Those guys are heat-seeking miss. One-on-one, would that ever happen if 45 is looking for it? Obviously not. His eyes are in the backfield, but, great job of using a condensed formation and motion to go ahead and get the edge. And I just don't think JPP is playing really well there. I think he's reaching himself. On the field here, again up top, a quarterback sneak. We're going to fast forward here. Up top, defense is right side. Very poorly played by the Bucs overall in terms of team defense. This will probably be the last play that I show you. I think they're in man free here. JPP is in that 6 technique again on that tight end, maybe a slight inside shade. And I think that same inside linebacker who just got decleated by Cooper Kupp is responsible for the tight end. So I'll map it out for you. I think you got man here. I think you've got man here. I think you got man here. Off screen to our right. Off screen to our right is a receiver and a DB. And then I think this is your free safety who's free. So you probably have man here. And Shaq Barrett and JPP, who is actually lined up inside. We would call that a 7. Some people call that a 6 and head up a 6-eye, whatever. In any case, he's inside shade. But Shaq Barrett and JPP are not responsible for those tight ends man-to-man. They're just trying to get hands on them. And this guy sees what looks like a run block initially. He sees what looks like a run block initially on JPP. So now his eyes are undisciplined. His eyes are in the backfield. When this is his man. If that's your man, you got to stay on him. They've sealed the edge. So JPP wasn't going to get there immediately to get a sack. Stafford kind of stylishly throws the football. Guy's wide open, turns right as the ball's being caught. 45 is supposed to guard him man-to-man. I don't know, man. I like JPP. I think that he would be an option. I did have 4 more plays to show, but this one went on way longer than I wanted to. I think you can see some things that I saw, the lack of explosiveness. Certainly Andrew Whitworth is a formidable offensive tackle. If you were not impressed by this game, and you shouldn't have been, the Washington game from 2021 would have been even less impressive. If you were to watch the Washington game and that game only, you would say absolutely not. Don't want anything to do with him. And that's, again, not to be disrespectful towards the guy. I hope he's got another couple good years left in him. I'm always a fan of veteran guys, hopefully resurrecting their career and prolonging it to get more money for themselves, maybe have an impact and hopefully win a Super Bowl championship if he's in Baltimore. Of course, for JPP, it would be, resurrecting his career almost a second time, right? Going to Tampa Bay, 12.5 sacks 1 year, I think 9.5, and then 8.5. Past year, 2.5. And you can see the evidence of that lack of production in this game against the Rams. I guess the question is, how healthy was he? Were he to be completely healthy, and the salary structure at this point, I think it would have to be incredibly low. Would JPP ever sign for the veteran minimum? Probably not. He reputation-wise, accomplishment-wise, resume-wise, he's not that type of player. However, having said that, it might make sense for the Ravens to do this move from the standpoint of who we don't have in the beginning of the year. And then when those guys come back, if JPP's not producing, then he's just not producing, and we can let him go, or we can use him situationally. But I think the Ravens going young on defense has been a good thing. And I think it's going to pay dividends. Other than the inside linebacker position, we're not going young there by bringing back Josh Bynes. But generally, everybody else, we're going young on defense. JPP would betray or go away from that philosophy. Let me know what you think in the comments section. I know this video went on a little longer, and I didn't take time to edit it. I'm in the middle of a huge TJ Watt versus the Ravens video, and that one's taken hours to edit. I was not going to fire up the editing program for this one again. I just thought I'd go over, I was going to do 3 possessions, but ended up only doing 2. Appreciate you guys if you check the video out. Hope JPP is able to be a productive player next year, and if so, in a Ravens uniform. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section.